Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and man, I have a throw together video for you. Yeah, man, I've been going through it very crazily. In fact, I'm going to share with some of the stuff I've been going through and why I'm doing this video on the very end of this video for the ones who kind of are with me and support me and all that kind of stuff. That support what I do and everything and all that. For everybody else, so we'll just keep going here. And I'm making this a short one, but a short and powerful one. And I plan to do a few others that are going to be mind blowing. This should have some mind blowingness to it because I wanted to hit you with some really good stuff that the Lord's been just downloading onto me for the last almost 24 hours. Even in a couple dreams, I've been getting just intense stuff. And only because I was pretty much at the end of my rope, more than I've ever been, maybe in my entire life. And so he has come through with flying colors. So even though it's still life has been very, very hard. So I'm moving forward here. Let's go. Okay. So again, I'm Exalted Lamb 1 on Telegram, but the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube. And my motto is having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, from Ephesians 5:11. And if you're not aware of this, you don't necessarily have to be in a certain mold to do certain things. I don't have to quote scriptures every single second on a video to know Jesus. I know Jesus very well. He's my Lord, my master, and my best friend. And I've known him for about 25 years, something like that, very intently. I've been born again for, 34 years now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, and I really started understanding a relationship with him about 25 years ago, and that he was going to be not just my savior, but my master and my Lord. So a lot of Christians don't understand that, unfortunately. If you want a lot more out of life, even though life will get a lot harder in a lot of certain ways, but it's for your own good, then, decide to tap into him and ask him what you should be doing daily, hourly, daily, all the time, and then do your best to do that. And that's what I've been doing for 25 years, including what I do on my YouTube channel, what I've been doing for about 7+ years. So, and then I'm also going to put a link in the description box below for that I normally have for Telegram if you want to get notifications on my videos, because of course YouTube, which I call them, they turn off notifications on a lot of my subscribers. That's why I have almost 32,000 subscribers now, and most of them don't get notifications of my videos because YouTube has turned them off, and a lot of people don't even know that. And so I end up getting 3,000 views, up to 10,000, up to whatever, but barely ever a third or not even a half views of what I actually have as subscribers. It's rare. I used to get a lot more. I used to have a few years ago 100,000 views, 90,000 views, even 150,000 views. I've had stuff like that. But as we've gotten closer to the time, and I've been more shadow banned and more shadow banned, I'm just not getting it. They're not letting my message get out there very much. And so I'll just take what I can get, and that's just where it's at. So, but my mission is to expose using their devices against them and exposing what they do. The elite, the demons behind the elite that are behind all the world leaders and everything, it's all a big show, and it's all a big program to get you to follow their process down the road to get the world to one world dictator, one world religion, one world government, all that kind of stuff. And where it's really a technocracy, and everybody's controlled. That they get rid of all, many other people because they don't need them, and we have too many useless eaters, as they call them. And they're going to get rid of many, many, many people, kill them off and everything. Unfortunately, I mean, I've seen dreams and visions of this stuff started about 10 years ago. So this is all coming. And my whole ministry is to warn people of how, and show them how they do this stuff in different things. And I'm going to lean heavily on iPad Go right now. If you're not familiar with it, then you just look up iPad Go 2 and watch it. It's about 7 minutes long, and it's a movie. It's a real animated movie. There's no iPad Go 1 or 3 or 4. There's only iPad Go 2 by Heliofont. You can even see it at heliofont.com or on just their YouTube channel, Heliofont channel. And that's a playbook for what predictive programming they've done in the past, from the day it released in 2012, and also what's coming in this 14-day time frame to completely wipe out the United States and start the tribulation. So anyway, without any further ado, here we go. Last year, Trump's sentencing for his so-called hush money case he was going to be sentenced on November 26th last year. Okay. And I noticed, and I've been noticing for years in iPad Goat, this is at the very end of iPad Goat. The Antichrist comes out on the boat of Anubis, and this is also backwards. So if you go from the very end and go backwards, you can even play it. There's even people that have taken this movie and played it. They show it backwards. It's because everything that the elite do, inspired by demons, is backwards, upside down, and backwards opposites, and that's how they conceal what they're doing. And so I'm going to share some of that, and I have for many years, several years now, 7+ years on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to share this, and this is actually, there's a scorpion right here. Okay, and of course that's in the sky. That's a constellation Scorpius, and then the sun's right here, and you can't see his claws, but if you could see him, there'd be a claw here and a claw there. I mean, again, it's just there are stars, but there's an idea of claws coming out from the scorpion, of course, and then the sun is in his claw, and then I've, in the past, I've done, gematria and all this stuff, sun and scorpion's claw, I mean, all kinds of stuff. And it shows a particular set of numbers and all that. Okay, and then now I feel like I'm really understanding this, combined with a bunch of things that the Lord's downloaded with me recently, and then stuff I've learned over these 7+ years that are insane about this time frame, about the Christmas time frame, starting from towards the beginning of December and going into Christmas. And how does that relate to November 26th? Well, I'm going to show you. So Trump is related to this. As you can see, hopefully you can see this. There's the Scorpius is right here, the sun's right here as being in his claw, and that's lined up with this 100%. But it's not obvious. People could see this and go, okay, there's something here, okay, but I think I finally understand what they're concealing and how they're concealing it. And we'll see how it plays out. But it looks like, and that's what my video is to do. I'm supposed to be doing here with my video, is showing you the evidence of what my theory is, and then seeing if it makes sense or holds water. And then, a lot of people are not going to see it, of course. Some people are going to see it or go, that's possible. And then we'll see how it happens. I don't know the future. The Lord just gives me clues or breadcrumbs on the trail, and I try to put it together with his little unctions and leanings and messages to me. And that's as much as anybody can ask for, if they know the Lord at all. First of all, you got to start out with knowing Jesus if you really want to know truth, because he's the Spirit of truth. And then if you want to know what's going on with a lot of things in your life. And so he wants me to do this. He called me to start doing this about 10 years ago when he started giving me dreams and visions of the future, tsunamis and all kinds of crazy stuff that were coming. And then I'm like, okay, well, I need to know details and when these things are going to happen and an order of things, because he was showing me all kinds of different catastrophes and things in dreams and visions and such. So, and then I'm going to share this with you, and more videos here coming up. But I also need support. I'll explain more about that at the very end of the video. So, boom. So, like I said on my last video, this is the Julian calendar, and this is the Gregorian. I was looking at, a lot of people I think, even still, that the darkened moon, and then when you first start seeing the little bit of light, a little bit of the sliver of the moon is when Feast of Trumpets begins, but it's not the case on a certain part of the year, on this side of the year, in the fall, and it's a certain time. But no, it's the full moon. The full moon, God is the Father of heavenly lights. He does not change like shifting shadows, and the enemy uses shifting shadows, like on the moon, like on a sundial, to tell time, to tell a lot of false things. It's all by the lights of the heavens, the sun, moon, and stars, and that's in Genesis as well. Is about setting the moedim, the appointed times of God, is dictated by the sun, moon, and stars, and it's a big clock up there. And the Lord showed me that one day about, I don't know, about 12 years ago, something like that. He said I was sitting in a hot tub somewhere. And my manner was at the time, I would sit in there and just worship God. It was a really cool time. I feel really good in a hot tub, and then I just worship God, and I look up at the stars, because this one particular one had an opening right above, and I could look at the stars and stuff. And he said one day, said to me, "Oh, by the way," and I'm like, "Yeah, what?" And then he's like, "That's my clock." And I'm like, wow, really? And he goes, yeah, it's all these different things are, the sun is one part, the moon is one part, and the stars are another part. And my word, kind of puts that all together. And my word kind of dictates how this clock works and what to look for and everything. And I'm like, whoa. Anyway, and then I started looking into it more. Anyway, I'm going to also include a link in the description box that I've included in the last couple of videos for Michael Shabbat and his ministry, about how the full moon and all this stuff, and how the turn of the year that just happened this time, and how it's, my next video, I'm going to share how this relates to the flood that's coming, Noah's flood that's coming, and how it lines up exactly with my timeline here in December. So, but anyway, that's what I was on this track, and this is very important. This is this full moon, and then the next day, the sunrise, as the moon's going down, they meet each other, and that becomes the first day. So this was the full moon, technically, like in our time zone in the United States, and then technically the next day is the first day. That was the first day of the other side of the year, or the first day of God's creation, or even to set up the first of the year for when creation happened. Then 2 months and 17 days into the year was when the flood happened, as you can see in the Bible. Anyway, so moving on. And then again, that is when the real shofar should be blown, but they have it all backwards. Okay, and that sets up what I'm going to share with you in my next video for that. So, and then you see this the sun in Scorpius's claw, okay, right here, and that's 11/26, and then you add 13 days to that because that's on the Julian. That's how it's hiding it. The first day, which is the pre-day of the timeline, is a 9, and the first day is a 1. Okay, and just like this is the third day and the fourth day, and these are events that are going to happen. And I've shared, I'm not going to put right here these events, but they are pinned to the top of comments on this video on the current events I'm going to have in December. And it's not going to be, I'm sorry, but the people... listen, this is my best guess, okay? I don't know exactly if this is the case, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to go right by October and nothing. No Shemini Azeret. It wasn't 9/23, the fake Feast of Trumpets. It wasn't the real full moon, the Feast of Trumpets. It's not Shemini Azeret. And whatever people start pulling out for, October, or even, maybe November. No, December, it looks like that's what this is. This is my best guess at this point, and it's just it's all coming together for me. Really, I'm beside myself right now. So you have literally, this is the first day, this is pre-day, first day. This is the third day because you have 1 + 2 is 3, fourth day. These are just major events on the third, fourth day, the fourth, fifth day, the seventh, eighth day, the people that know that. And then you'll see it on my timeline pinned to the top of comments on this video, more details, when these things are on these particular days and what they are. So again, fourth, 1 + 3 is 4, fourth and fifth day, 1 + 4 is 5. And for example, this one right here, the fifth day, I've been saying for a long time, this is when the alien invasion happens, people turn to zombies, and this just happens to be the exact day in 2020 that the first the first American got the first hokey pokey. She got vaxxled. Okay, and that's just the exact date, because it's pointing to the time 5 years later that because of the hokey pokey, people would turn to zombies right here. Okay, that's just a coincidence. There's a lot of things I could point to in this whole thing. For example, this is the birth of the Antichrist. These are the mega tsunamis that hit the 20th and 21st, depending on which. This is the one that hits on the west coast, and that's the birth of the Antichrist, lightning falling from heaven. And it also will end up being the flood of Noah's flood, starting on this day from that full moon I just showed you. It's so crazy, and I'll get more into that. This is also the winter solstice, and then we have Christmas Eve is the last day, the post day. It's a 14-day process from here to there, basically. Okay, and then right here is the post day and the pre-day, and then after this is done, then this is the first day, 12/25 Christmas and 12/26, the 2 days that the Antichrist, Barack Hussein Obama, and believe it or not, Pope on a rope, Francis, will come back to life. And I have so much evidence, especially I'll share with the next video. And I've shared over the years how they are inexorably connected with 666s and all kinds of stuff. It is off the charts. I've shared incredible proof that nobody can refute, numerically, symbolically. That it's amazing with these two, and they are what the Bible says are the false prophet Pope. I call him false prophet Francis, even though he's dead, but he'll come back. You'll see. People might mock me all they want. He'll come back to life. The Bible says that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. Let's just keep going. And then Sticky Bo will be shot or some kind of head wound. I don't know what it is exactly, but some kind of head wound, most likely in Hawaii on this day. So will Trump will be killed on 12/16 in New York, and it's reported on this day. Again, that's the 7th. 1 plus 6 is 7, and the 8th day. 1 plus 7 is 8. 7th and 8th day. And then I guess you have Christmas here. So, and these are the last days. These last days, nukes will go off in 23 cities. 23 cities. There's a number of reasons for that. Okay, let's just keep going here. So, some of the evidences of this. So how this works usually with predictive programming, and predictive programming is a mass belief system that the elite foment through movies and TV and all kinds of stuff that the masses start believing, and then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that the masses kind of move into, and then and it also gives spiritual um, uh, legal right for the enemy to move forward with his evil plans, because people start believing the things that he peddles and the subtle things and everything, and then it moves everybody towards this ultimate goal of one world government, one world dictator, one world religion, all that stuff, a technocracy that can't be stopped until Jesus comes back and and stops it. But of course, this is on this sign. No matter what year it is, for the most part, it's on 11/26/2025. Okay, so this is the date of this. Now, how would a lot of these names and a lot of things associated with this, including the scene in iPad Goat with the Antichrist coming out on the boat of Anubis and all kinds of stuff I'm going to show in the future, how they all would equal 13, not this number, but 13 days later, 12/9. Okay, and I'm going to show that to you. Watch this. Scorpius, okay, right here, Scorpius is 3/9, or 3 is 1 plus 2, 9, 12/9. Scorpius in English Sumerian, which is 6 times regular English Gematria, 720 and 576. Well, what is that hiding? Well, 7 is 2 plus 5, and then you have 20, right there, 20. I'm just showing you, yes, these numbers can mean different things, of course, but I'm just showing you how would all these things I'm showing you equal the same exact date, even this year, and they just happen to do that? No, I don't think so. It's not a coincidence. Okay, so, and then we have 5 plus 7 is 12, and then we have a 6. Well, this, knowing what I know, this is upside down and backwards, and this is backwards. Okay, 2025. You see how that is? And this ends up being forward, but a lot of things are backwards or upside down and backwards. It's rare to have it, but it's hidden because 3 is hiding 1 plus 2, or 12, because they talk about, and I've heard elite, and I've shared with some of the elite that talk about compressing and decompressing numbers. So 12 is compressed is 1 plus 2 is 3, or 3 decompressed is 1 plus 2. So that's how they hide things, compressing or decompressing numbers. Okay, so 12/6 upside down and backwards is 9/21, or backwards 12/9/2025. See how this is exactly backwards pretty much? I mean, yeah, the numbers can be forward, each separate number, and this one backwards, but the whole message, in a sense, is all backwards. See how this is 12/9/2025, and then 12/9. Okay, and that's the coincidence? I don't think so. And then we take the subject matter, sometimes even just explaining the whole thing that you see in a movie or a TV show or something like that, but sometimes it's just the subject matter. I'm just going to show you some of these things. I could literally show you about 50 some things about this whole thing and an iPad Go that show this symbol and all that stuff, and how they all relate to 12/9. But I'm just going to share you a few and move on to the next thing. So the sun, the 3 subjects: sun, Scorpius, and the claw, because the sun is in the claw of the Scorpius, obviously. Or you could say sun in Scorpius claw. And the in is also that. But I'm just going to show you sun, Scorpius, claw. So make a point here. So 9 is in the middle of 12, or 12/9. And then we have 9, again, right here, 3/9, or 9/3. Again, 9, 3 is 1 plus 2, 9/12. And then 2, and then 25. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 25, 2025. 9/12, 9/12 hidden, 2025. See, hopefully that makes sense. And then, again, Trump is linked to this date, like I just share with you, and I shared this last year, and I thought I was onto something, and then just went right by. I was like, what the heck? It doesn't make sense. Literally, his head is right there. And I'll show you that in a second as well here. Okay, so judge delays Trump's November 22nd sentencing date in his hush money case. And everything about this whole trial, even trial is the numbers. and all this stuff is all about this time. This is the first day. And this is the first day on the Julian. You have 13 days and you have 12/9. And I'm going to show that to you. So, for example, Trump hush money, either one of these numbers you put upside down and backwards. I'm just going to use this one, for example. 216, which is the day Stinky BO, the 44th Prez, was born, the 216th day of the year, which is 6 times 6 times 6, because it's all about him. But if you take this and you put it upside down and backwards, you have 9th of December. And then this is hiding the year. It can also be hiding this date. A lot of these numbers are incestuous. They produce each other. And a lot of times the dates also produce the year. And that's another reason why I know we're pretty sure it's going to be in 2025, even up to the very end of 2025, because 2025 and 25, they're hidden on all kinds of things. For example, right here, 1 plus 6 is 7. And then 7 is also 2 plus 5. And then we have a 2. See how this works? So we have 9th of December 2025. You just move the 5 and the 2, switch that. So this, see how this works? And then even like Trump hush money case. Watch this. It's a little bit more hidden in some ways, but other ways not so much. So we have right here, we have 4 plus 5 is 9. And then we have 1 and 2 is 12. And then look at this, 24. And then if we decompress 2 into 1 plus 1, we literally have this whole thing backwards again. Again, wow, it's backwards. December 9th plus 1 is December 10th, the first day. This is the pre-day. December 9th plus 1, and then 1 plus 24 is 25. December 9th plus 1 is 10th. December 9th and 10th, 25. And that's just no more coincidence. This whole thing was about hush money for Stormy Daniels, this actress, I'll just call her that. Actress, a kind of actress. Okay, which is all, this is all a ruse. This is not real. Her name equals all this stuff. All this stuff, even what she does equals all this. I mean, it's all. I could show you, I could literally spend 2 hours or more and show you how every single part of this case and the trial and everything all has something to do with, it all has to do with this. Now, if we take this whole thing right here, this is English Sumerian, which is English Gematria. English Gematria is A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. Now, English Sumerian is all that times 6. So A equals 6, B equals 12, C equals 18, and so on and so forth, all the way up to Z. And then this is the reverse of that times English Gematria times 6. And then the forward goes with the reverse, and they work together to form dates and things, month, day, and year. A lot of times. I've shown this many times in videos how this works. It's crazy. And whether they are the right ones or not, they eventually will be. And whether I'm interpreting them right or not, they will be. But we'll see. But this is how this works. Watch this. If I take this whole thing like it's one number, I turn it upside down and backwards. Now, the reason I'm going to put this into digital because it's easier to see, because the way that different fonts work and everything, it's hard to see. Like a 2 upside down and backwards is a 2. Obviously, an O upside down and backwards or a 0 is a 0. And a 1 upside down backwards is a 1. But then with certain fonts and stuff, you have a 1 as having this little thing right here, this little serif. And then other things have their different things on different fonts. So it's hard to see. But when you do digital, you can see. So when you turn this thing upside down and backwards, and you take this whole thing and turn it upside down and backwards, and you literally have, watch, 1, 2, 12 backwards with the 9 in the middle. So 12, 9. 12, 9. And then what a lot of people don't know is a 4 upside down and back. A closed 4 like this is upside down backwards. A 6. See, this is a 6. It's a really distorted 6, but it's a 6, and that's all they care about. 6 plus 6 is 12, and then a backwards 10. 12, 9, and 6 plus 6, 12, 10. 12, 9, 12, 10. The 2 first days, the pre-day and the first day. Hopefully that makes sense. It's there. And then also, not only is this linked to Trumpel, because and I've said for years that the first day, the 2 first days, the pre-day and the first day, I've said this for years. You can look up any of my videos for years. And I've said that is a day he makes a big announcement, and it's most likely he's going to say that he solved, or there's going to be some kind of agreement between Russia and Ukraine and Putin and Zelensky. Okay. And he's been building up to that. To get to that point, because he's so-called solved like 7 conflicts. And then he just did this one with Hamas and Israel and bringing hostages. And then he's going to, the next and last one he's going to do I'm just saying, this was all the predictive programming shows. And I've shown a lot of these reasons why. It's all in predictive programming. It's in movies and TV and all kinds of stuff. I've shared for years. That's why I'm pretty sure it's going to happen like this, because it's been shown already. And people just can't see it. They can't see, a lot of people. Some people see it. A lot of my followers see it, but most of the general public does not see it. And if they had any idea what they're being programmed to, they would reject it. But they don't. They just accept it. And they accept the two-party bull system. It's redonkulous. It's all these are all lies and fabrications to get you to stay in the matrix and not question things. Okay, this is all to control people, to get them down a path. So and then calamity is going to happen, and then you're going to have a guy come to the forefront, back to the forefront, no Obama, and he's going to be killed and come back to life. And then these false aliens are going to come on the scene. He's going to work with them, and they're going to solve these problems. And after nukes went off and killed a bunch of millions of people and all this stuff, then they're going to say, hey, we've got the answers, and we're going to make this all utopia. And people are going to just run to it. And it's going to be very deceptive. It's the great delusion the Bible talks about. It's crazy. Okay, so not only is 11:26 on the Julian, then you add 13 days, and that gets you to 12:9, 12:9, and then also 12:10 of the 2 first days, and Trump is connected to that. Okay, I'll call him Trumple, or Trumpelonius, or Trumple Thinskin. All this. It's also 11:26 is hiding another number. Watch. Boom. 12, and then 1 and 6. 12:16, the day he's killed, like I said earlier. 12:16 is the 7th day, the day, and he and Obama, he should be killed in New York, and I predicted that it would be in Trumple Tower. So for some reason he'll be in Trumple Tower when that happens. They're going to say it's going to be false. He's not going to really die. They're going to recycle him into somebody else, like they've done with many other celebrities and people, that I've shown and talked about. And he even knows this, and there's evidence that he knows this, and he said this. I've also had different people, after I've shared some of this, share with me dreams that they had, confirming this, that they had way before they knew me, and confirming that Trump's going to die, but it's not going to be real, and he's going to just walk off the scene, and it's going to make Christian conservatives look like big idiots. And in fact, recently, Stephen King, the famous Stephen King books and all that, the author, horror author and all that, he said recently that eventually a lot of Trump supporters are going to deny they even voted for him, that infers that something bad's going to happen that he's going to be a part of and make them look bad, so they won't want to admit they voted for him. And so he's telling you what I'm saying, what I've been saying for you. I've been saying this for 7 years, and it's finally going to happen. You'll see. It will happen. It's in predictive programming everywhere. It's just a lot of people don't see it. And they don't put 2 and 2 and get 4 in that arena. They just don't. And they need to. You need to. Okay, and then watch this. This day on the Gregorian, 12:16, and then minus 13 days is 12:3. Well, that's right in iPad Goat in the Apple row. Watch this. 12:3 is L, 12, C, which is 3. That's the death of the Antichrist. So this is about the Antichrist, and he's right here. In fact, this is the foot of Obama in iPad Goat. That means he's going to die on this day, 12:3, which is what? 12:3 on the Julian is 12:16, like I said, on the Gregorian, the 7th day. Also, so you got this, bam, bam, right there. Also, right here, when the apple rose, it hits the 7, it goes in this order. So it goes 7th and 8th day, because this upside down is a 7, and that's from his viewpoint. He's looking this way, his toes pointed this way. And if you look at the movie, he's looking this way, and so he sees this as a 7 and a C. But when this apple rolls across the 7, the 7's first, as in the 7th day, and the apple completes the C to make it an 8. See? C? 8C. Anyway, so watch. So you turn that upside down and backwards, and you have, this is the C and the apple become an 8, and that's not an upside down L. It's really a 7. I mean, it's not really an L. It's an upside down 7 when it's an L. But from our perspective over here, it looks like an LC, and it's meant to do that. Okay, so again, 7th and 8th day, and then like I showed you, 7th day is 123, and I just showed you that's LC. And then the 8th day right there is right here, 7th and 8th day, and there it is right there, 7th and 8th day. And I showed you how that one's 12:3 LC. See? See? And then right here is when he's actually the first day of the tribulation, when him and the Pope on a rope, Pope Francis comes back to life, and they're right in front of the world at the end of the beginning, starting the tribulation after this on Christmas. And that I've shared this for years, how in the pistil here of the flower is 12 segments, and that's 12. And then the flower, which is it's really not technically a lotus, even though it can be symbolic of a lotus. Kind of, these things are multifaceted, they're multi-layered, but it's really a water lily. And then the character in the very beginning that drops the apple, her name is Lily, and this is a water lily, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But anyway, there's 25 petals. So that's 1225. Again, Christmas. So we have 12:3, which is really, add 13 to that, is 12:16. His death and his rebirth, basically his death and his rebirth. Okay, and then when you see him, he's got sweat coming down his face because it's about his death right here, but it's really not sweat. It's if you really look at it, it's kind of sick. It's really sperm coming down his face, because right behind him on the chalkboard is the penis. It's really bad stuff, and that has to do with the conception and birth, and this is his rebirth. Okay, also to support that, when you turn this whole image upside down and backwards, again, we have 12 in the pistil and 25, or C7. What's C? C is 3, or 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 7 is 7, or 7 is 2 plus 5. See, 12, or C is 3, or 1 plus 2 is 3. And then we have 25 petals, or 7 is hiding 2 plus 5. 12, 25, 12, 25 petals. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is all massive coincidence? I don't think so. And I have way more than this. I mean, way more, from years and years of looking at this for 7+ years. And I'm going to keep showing this. I'm going to do other videos, and with the new information the Lord's showing me, and also he's showing me to research this stuff even more. And he's got really great, amazing things waiting for me, the Lord's told me recently. I'm like, okay. And he had to give me that, because he's telling me it's going to be 2 more months. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it's 2 more months. Okay, anyway, here we go. So again, let's go back to this, where 11:26 is hiding 12:9. And literally this is in this headline, okay, and the subhead. So I've said this for several years, that eventually I found that when you take the heading and the subhead, it shows you incredible things. And this is no different. Now watch. We take the heading and the subhead and put it all in gematria in these different ciphers. And it's also in many other ciphers, but I'm just going to use these as a clear example, as clear as I can. The other ones it would take more time to explain as well, but these are nice and clear, and it's just phenomenal, really. So this is the first headline, and I put a little dash, and then here's the subhead. You put it all together, like I said, and then they make something incredible to support what I'm saying. It's just like, this is not a random chance. There's no way that all these things I'm showing you would be 12/9 and the year, but it is. Okay, watch. So now I'm going to take 511, and because this is full reduction and this is it's reverse, they are related to each other that way. This is the forward, this is the reverse of it. Okay, so take both of these, and now we're going to do it in digital, because when you turn them upside down and backwards, it's a more true representation of what you can see. It's hard to see them, like, it's hard to see a 2 upside down and backwards, and it looks exactly like a 2, but it is basically a 2. But when you take 511 and 621, and you turn them both upside down and backwards like they're one thing, then you have 129115 upside down and backwards. See how a 2 right side up, back upside down and backwards is the same. Of course, a 1 upside down and backwards is the same. And then a 5 upside down and backwards is the same. But a 6 upside down and backwards is the only one that's not, out of this whole group, that's not the same. It's, of course, everybody knows a 6 is a 9 upside down and backwards. That's why a lot of times, to differentiate them, you have to have a line underneath the bottom so you know it's a 9 or a 6. But that's all on purpose. Demons did this all on purpose so they can hide things upside down and backwards. Hello, McFly. Hello. That's how it works. And if you don't know that, I'm sorry, but you need to know that. And I'm telling you this right now. So look, 12, 9, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 5. Again, upside down and backwards, these two. Now I'm going to look at this one right here. Again, I could show this in many other gematrias, but I'm just going to show these because these are super clear. And there's just the chance that they all equal this exactly is crazy. So I'm going to take this in digital 10652 106. It's really 106. A lot of people say O because O is sometimes hiding, zero is hiding O, and that's 15 or 6. But I'm not in this case. It can be also, but I'm not getting into that. 10652 upside down. Take that upside down and backwards. Now let's read this backwards. Decem, as in December, Decem, which Decem really means 10. And I'm going to get that in a second and why that's important. 9/25. Again, look, December, the one that we know of is December 12, but Decem really means 10. 9/25. And this one, Decem, which is 10, 9/25 backwards. Again, backwards. See how this works? It's crazy. And this is all chance. If you think this is all chance, you do not know what you're talking about. And if you think some people go, oh, you can make numbers whatever you want. Well, well, then there's no hope for you. Sorry. Because if you can't follow what I'm doing and realize that there's a lot more going on when I show you thing after thing after thing, and I'm going to show you multiple videos, and I've shown this stuff for years, and people go, oh, I've seen people in videos and YouTube and stuff, and try to do gematria, and they really, I'm like, how can you make that equal? Or they use just a couple things, and they go, okay, it's A plus B equals the rapture. I'm like, no, wait a minute, hold on. I have about 1,000 things, and then I go, well, the rapture may be because of this, or whatever. And it's not just about the rapture. There's so many people that are so stuck on the rapture. There are so many things that have to happen before that and after the rapture, and there are actually multiple raptures. A lot of people are very religious about it. They believe what they were told by other men and women and all that stuff. It's not. The Bible talks about multiple raptures. The first rapture is going to be of the innocent children on the 4th and 5th day because they're innocent. And he's not going to have them scared half to death or traumatized so severely or killed for no reason when they're super innocent. When it's just about the turn of mankind and the rescuing of people, and God's trying to wake people up. And the innocent they're not guilty at all. And I've shared, which is in it's in the description box, the bottom description box. I have 3 different downloadable documents that you can look at, and there's scriptures based on them for some of these different subjects. The 144,000, who they really are, which I'm a member, and that's scriptural. These are in Old Testament, New Testament, things that a lot of Christians don't know anything about because they don't know how to study the Bible, or they've been taught man's doctrine and all that stuff, not what God is really trying to teach people. And he's kind of hidden it. The Lord's hidden it, and he's really, a lot of things the Lord's hidden that you got to come to him directly to get, that are in his word. You have to come to the Lord Jesus directly. And if you don't know him and you don't know how to come to him and all that, and you just kind of just generally live your life and go, oh, God's there and whatever, but you don't serve him and all that, he won't unlock it for you. And he's unlocked it for me and show me that who the 144,000 really are, and they're going to be going back and forth and harvesting in the tribulation, and who they really are. They are the most faithful. And then I'm just saying that if you don't, if you have issues with that, take it with him. Also, I'm going to say to people, ultra religious people that are out of touch or think, or you have these crazy judgment, like you're crazy and you call yourself Christian. Be careful. I mean, people are not careful. Jesus said, if you call your brother Raka, I mean, you call your brother fool, you're in danger of hellfire. I mean, how dare you mess with yourself like that? I mean, why would you do that? Call me horrible names. Call me all kinds of stuff, and you're not right about it all. I serve Jesus. I know Jesus. I've healed people. I've seen miracles. I've had amazing dreams that would shock most people. All kinds of stuff. I mean, I know him intimately. He's touched my heart in amazing, insane ways. He's helped me help other people in all kinds of ways. Physically, spiritually, emotionally. I've helped people from addiction. Many people off addiction because I dealt with it when I was younger and all that, and just crazy. And you have the nerve not only to question who I am and what I do and all that stuff, but to mock it or even condemn it. Be careful who you're on your condemnation. Because with that judgment, which is the judgment of condemnation, you condemn yourself, Jesus said. Be careful. I cannot believe in this day and age how people just condemn people so easily, call them names, so-called Christians. And I know some of them are. I mean, people say, "Oh, they're probably bots," and now it's AI and all that stuff. No, there might be some of that, and but there are people who do this, and man, they have no idea what they're doing to themselves. Watch out how you pass judgment on people. It comes right back to you. And there's two kinds of judgment in the. I'm going to give you a little bit of schooling on some people that don't know this. There's two kinds of judgment in the Bible. There's krinos and there's criterion. And those are the Greek. Criterion has to do with criteria. When you judge people to criteria that the Bible says, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, we will judge angels, the Bible says, and there's criteria sometimes to truth and all that. And you could say about people, oh, this person's not right on the ball because, based on criteria, they don't meet the criteria. But when you start getting people's faces saying, oh, you're going to hell, or you're horrible, or you're not this or that, or whatever, that's krinos, which is judgment. And you're in danger of hurting yourself when you judge others like that. So be careful. Okay, I know the difference. You should know the difference. Just shut up and move on. If you have an issue with somebody, unless the Lord tells you to help them or say something to them, sometimes you got to say something to somebody. But are you listening? Or are you just doing your own thing? Don't do your own thing. Listen. Don't do your own thing. I don't do my own thing. I try not to as much as I can. I'm trying to listen to the Lord as much as I can. That's just what it is. So moving on. Get off my soapbox here, because I'm so tired of people who is supposed to be Christian not living like that and not acting like that. Okay, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and with what I do, it's every day, every other day, every day, pretty much every day, yeah, and every other day, and every other day. Okay, so let me share with this idea. So the idea of decem. So I said decem is 10 in Latin. Okay, so here's this concept. Let me share with you a lot of people that don't know this. Oops. Or just another perspective for people that do. November and December are the true hidden genuine months. And that's why this stuff is going to start kicking off in November, December, and more in December, but a lot of the numbers and stuff hint at November because it's pointing to December, whatever. Anyway, and again, I'm going by what I think the Lord's showing me, and I'm trying to support that. And with the evidence I've been showing you, and I'll show you a lot more evidence in future videos and all that. The people who are maybe skeptical or whatever, and I totally understand skepticism because I'm a skeptic at heart. I want to be shown things. I need to be shown things, and I have been shown by the Lord many, many amazing things to prove all this stuff out. And that's how I know what I know, whatever that is. Okay, so November, December are the hidden, genuine months, because these are the decoy months, September and October. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people thought things were going to happen in September and now in October, because for a number of reasons, not including and not excluding these ideas. There's many other reasons that people have, but one of the reasons is because the numerology is the same, and they've made it so it looks like anybody who's looking at these things, they're the same. So November, it has 30 days in it. September does too. Okay, and then December has 31 days, and October does as well. Okay, and see how they're mimicking each other, and it just happens to be that way. And it's not just that fact. The fact is that these are the only months in the whole year where they're numbered. Their name is the number. So September means the seventh. Ber is a form of the Latin, which means month. Seventh month, eighth month. November is 9 in Latin, month. Ninth month, 10th month. So you have seventh month, 8th month, 9th month, 10th month. Well, that is true, but as far as these go, these are telling the truth. This is really the 9th month. Novem is 9. And this is true. This is really this is the lie. This is not this is the 7th month. That's what this says. So the fact that we've been told it's the 9th month is a lie. So this is a decoy. And then this December is decem, from any measurements and all that stuff. They're in the metric system and all that. Decem, dec and all that. is 10. And that's the real 10th month. October is not. Octo means 8, like an octagon or whatever. So these are lies. So how do we believe that the month that is literally means 7th month and the month that literally means 8th month are the 9th and the 10th month? Because we've been sold a bunch of bull, but if you really look at it, it's what they're doing on purpose. So you should know this. You should realize that this is all bull, that it's a lie. But we don't see it. We don't think, oh, I've looked at this and I go, I know this is not true. Why did they do this? They did this because these are the decoys for the actual time of the birth of the Antichrist. And this is kind of a decoy for this one ultimately too. So ultimately it's about the 10th month. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then again, October being the decoy of December, here's October. October is the only month that I know of in any gematria that equals 666, and that's reversing a Sumerian. There's no other month that equals 666. So then that would tell you, okay, there's something to do with October being the birth of the Antichrist, because Antichrist is the number 666. Whatever name is Antichrist, like it says in Revelation 13:18, is calculate the number of the beast, and his name is 666. And I've shown how Barack Hussein Obama and many things all around him, and how he's associated with the Pope and all that stuff. I have hundreds of 666s in his name, in so many things. And if you don't know that, I'm sorry, but I've shared in videos upon videos upon videos, and I'm going to share some of that in some of the next videos, and how he and the Pope are connected by 666s insanely. In fact, and I can share this. I was going to share this in this, but from the Pope's birthday, which was December 17th, which is actually going to be Obama's death day, reported death day, December 17th. And I'm gonna share more of that in a future video, okay? And that's the reason why his birthday is December 17th, because it's the opposite of the birth of the Antichrist reported December 17th. Okay, but from his birthday, the Pope's birthday, okay, December 17th, 1936, to the day Obama will be killed, which would have been on the Pope's 89th birthday if he was still alive. From his birthday to his birthday, from his birthday originally in 1936 to the birthday this year, if he was still alive, his 89th birthday, it's 666 weeks. That's a coincidence. I don't think so. Another thing that adds up to this time frame in December, and I'm going to share more of that. I'll share more of that in my next video. But October, for years I knew this, and a lot of people don't know this and didn't know this, and I've shared this, that this is 666. But also, December is the real one, which is hiding 666. Again, 9 is an upside down 6, so you just flip this 9 to a 6, and that's the real. See how it's hiding? See, this is a decoy. This is a decoy. This looks, oh, it's in October. And like I said, October is a decoy of December. Same amount of days. This is the real 10. That's the fake 10. And then right here, look. The reason why this is not just because to hide 666, if anybody was looking for numerically, and some people are looking, a lot of people aren't looking numerically. They don't even know how this stuff works, really, most people. Okay, but it's also hiding the first day in December, the birth of the Antichrist. 9, 6 plus 6 is 12. Again, 9th of December, the first day, like I was sharing with you before, the whole first day. Okay, and then here's the first day in October, the pre-day, like I just showed you, October 9th. This is Obama announcing that he's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. And then here is he, or whatever you say that, here's him, here he is accepting it in Oslo, Norway on December 9th, 2009, exactly the same day. Fakely, he just told that he was awarded this, and then the actual acceptance was, so again, October is 10/9, and Decem is 10/9. So he's also doing this without people knowing that this is the fake decoy, and this is the real day when he actually accepted it in Oslo, Norway. It's crazy. Hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. There it is. There's a really good example of this, how October equals December, because that's the fake 10, or the 10th month. This is the real 10th month, Decem, which means 10. And then that's the first day. Again, he's showing that this is the first day of his birth. And it was also symbolized by this. Well, let me do this first. And then he received the Nobel Peace Prize. And look, December 9th. When he received it, it just happens to equal December 9th in English Sumerian. And keep going. +1 right here. December 9th, +1 is December 10th, the two first dates, 9th and 10th, and then 25. We're going backwards. And we could just put this 1 in front of this 5-2 right here, and then we'd have 12-9, December 9th, +1, 25. Exactly backwards for the most part. You just move that. Again, this is how they hide things. They move things over here, move that up here, upside down and backwards, because you don't look at things backwards, upside down, backwards. You look at them forward. And you don't see it like they see it, okay? Or they've been, anyway, whatever. Okay, so then also from the day he received it on December 9th, and that was a symbol of him being the first day of his birth in this timeline, in the future, on this day, the difference between this day when he accepted the Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, Norway, and the real date of his, which is the same date but different year, a real first day of his birth as the Antichrist, and the process of him being the Antichrist, okay, is not only 16 years difference, okay, which is 8 + 8 or 8, or all kinds of stuff it can be. It's also, look, 192 months, or 12, 9 in the middle of 12, or 12-9. 12-9, 12-9, 12-9. See how they do this? Hopefully you do. It's crazy. And again, more confirmations of this. How does all this stuff happen if it's all just random chance? I mean, if you believe in massive circumstance, massive coincidence, all that, then good luck with that. But I don't. I don't at all. Okay? There's all kinds of reasons for stuff. Okay, and then then look at this. The same night he got there, okay, to confirm that first day, 12-9, same night he got there to Oslo, and this is the Norwegian spiral anomaly. That was a double helix that was made by CERN, and I'm going to prove that. I've proven in the past already, because that's when they fired up their Large Hadron Collider. That's not too far from there. It's on the Franco-Swiss border, underneath the ground, 300 feet underneath the ground. And it opens portals, and that's what it's all about. And they've admitted it, and they've shown it in movies and TV and all kinds of stuff. And it's all about portals opening and all kinds of stuff. And it looks like just a spiral right here, but that's a spiral. That's symbolic, and it's shown in a version of it shown in iPad Go. And at the end, a light source like that looks kind of like the sun at night, with a spiral or rings coming off of it. And I'm going to show that to you in a second here. But look, that same day that this happened, when Obama was there in Norway, and they call this the Norwegian spiral anomaly, the night he was there, and he just happens to not, and you think he's not the Antichrist? I don't think so. This is a sign that he's the Antichrist, that he's going to be started to be birthed on 12-9, because he was there that night when that happened. And CERN did this. World record energy collisions achieved at Large Hadron Collider, December 9th, 2009. And I've shared this in the past, years ago. Okay, and then they did this. They caused that spiral. And then look how this, another angle, another way of looking at it. You can see the spiral even more. And then there's the double helix thing that comes out here from nowhere, basically, out of nowhere. And then it makes this. But that's not the whole story. I'm going to show you here in a second, when I'm done with this, a video of this spiral. Somebody taking a video of this. And I've seen a couple other videos of it from different angles, and now I can't find those anywhere. But this one I kept. And you might be able to find it at other places now. This one, I don't know, but the other ones I can't find. But this one I kept, and I've had on my personal devices for years, and then so that's why I have it. But a person got a video of this turning, spinning, and then collapsing and opening into a big, huge wormhole. And then as they're videotaping it or whatever, recording it, I should say, by video, it is getting closer to them, so it's messing with their focus, and they have to refocus. You'll see it. I'm going to play it after I'm done with this part. It's crazy. And I've had this for years, and CERN did this. They've been admitting to opening portals, and this is all in movies and TV, and there's all kinds of stuff with this. Anyway, so... but I want to show you. See this? Okay, watch this. Okay, see that? See the rings coming off of it? Rings coming off it like that. Okay? rings coming off a light source. See, rings coming off. I mean, this is a spiral, and this is rings, but it's meant to be the similar kind of thing. Symbolizing the first day. And like I said, Scorpius and all that stuff is 12-9. So many things are 12-9, 12-9. He was there on 12-9 when this happened. Light source was a spiral or rings coming off of it. Hopefully that you see that because it's true. And then if you go backwards from here, that's the spiral at 12-9. You come this way from the very end of the video. Come this way. Meteors come down on the 4th and 5th day, like I said, and strike. One strikes this pyramid right here. And I've said a meteor is going to strike Las Vegas, which has the Luxor pyramid. That's the 4th day, and you keep going backwards, and you get stuff backwards. It's crazy. Okay, and now we're going to take this whole scene. Okay, like I shared before, this is Trump's head. In the beginning, this is Trump's hair, okay, and he's right above this date right here, which is the date that Putin and Russia invaded Ukraine, 2/2/3. I'm gonna show you in a second. February 23rd, 2022 is when Russia invaded Ukraine. It's right under his head because he's going to make a deal, and then it's going to break. And I'm going to share this more with you in a second here. But watch. Now I'm taking this whole scene. Okay, we're going to go like this. Okay. Now I'm going to take this whole scene and I'm going to flip it upside down and backwards like that because that's how they do things. And watch. So I don't know if you can see here, but I'm going to just go like this. 2, 2. There's 2 2s because there's an out. You could look at this as 1 2 that's dark, but I look at the light parts was 2 2, and then the bottom of this 2 becomes this 3. See this 3 right here. So we got 2 2 3. And then we have a 2 right here because the bottom of this 3 here becomes, and this is just a 2 by itself. See, this is just a clear 2. And then we have a 0, and then we have a 2 and a 2 right here. Now watch. Boom, right there. This is 2 2 3, 2 0, 2 2. Okay, now you could say, oh, that's not there, whatever. It's there. It is absolutely there, or some version of it that's super close. I know for a fact that 2/2/3 is right under Trump's orange man hair head right here. And that's the day Russia invaded Ukraine on February 23rd, 2022. And he's going to, on that first day, make some kind of deal. Okay, now let's just keep going here. From that day that happened, when Russia invaded Ukraine, it was the 24th over there, but it was the 23rd here in the United States. Okay, it's also 2/2/3 or 3/2/2 backwards, all kinds of stuff. To December 9th or 10th, but I'm just going to say 10th because that's when he's going to announce it by. It's probably going to happen on the 9th, and usually a lot of these events happen on the first part of the 2 days, and then on the second part of the 2 days, the 10th is going to be announced. Okay, but if you go from this day that Russia invaded Ukraine to this day, when it will be announced by Trump, just like all the things he's been doing lately. All these other things he's so-called solved, and the thing he just did with Hamas and Israel and all that stuff. And that was all was going on around this time. 10-10. Anyway, look, 3 years, look, 9 in the middle of 12 backwards. So let's just switch this 2 and this 9. We go boom like that, and you have 12-9 and 12-10 plus 3. See, this is hiding. This is 3 years, but it's hiding 12-9 plus 3. 12-9, why? 12-9 is when the deal is made, and then it's reported on December 10th. And then 3 days from 12-9, 12-10, 12-11, 12-12. 12-12, I'm just giving you an example of how this is backwards. 12-12 is when, like I've been saying, the 3rd day, reported on the 4th day, when Russia actually nukes Ukraine's, and Zelensky is assassinated, but it's reported by this day, but it happens on the 3rd day. I've been saying that for years. And we have this. From the day Russia invaded Ukraine to this day, the 9th or 10th, but let's just go to the 10th on this, because it's 2 days. You literally have swap these. 12-9 plus 3 is 12-12 backwards. 12-12 right here. And then also at the end of iPad Goat, on the Julian calendar, this is the day after 12-10, 12-11 on this timeline. 12-12 starts the the birth of the Antichrist, and that is what you see at the very end when he's coming out on the boat of Anubis on the very end, 12:12. But it's also 12:12 right here, the third day. And these things mean multiple things because there's multiple calendars going on. There's probably more calendars also that sync with this than I can even say. There's a calendar that it'll make this day the second month and 17th day right here. The second month and 17th day from that one full moon on the turn of the year that was on October 7th would be October 6th, but October 7th being the first day. 2 months and 17 days into that year is this day, and that's when tsunamis, that's the flood. That's so crazy. I wasn't actually share that. I was into the next video, but I can't help myself. I'll show more and prove it more in the next video, but it's insane. So this is the timeline, and then 1225 is the first day of the tribulation, which is 1212 on the Julian. 1225 and 1226. I didn't put 26 on here because there's a lot of numerology for 1226 as well, 1225 that's supported with this. It's crazy. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So I want to thank you. I want to thank, first of all, everyone who's ever supported my channel. Hopefully this did something for you. I mean, I think this is really bringing it, and I have much more to bring. Okay, even though I've been going through just, I'm going to share some of the hard stuff I've been dealing with lately, and it's just tough, and I need help. I really need help. For the ones who can help me, please help. I really need it. For my family, I have a wife, of course, a daughter, a son, and twin 6-year-old boys, as a lot of you know, and I have to take care of them. I mean, I have provided for my family over the years, and I've worked and things, and then I was even doing that while I was doing videos up to a few years ago. And then the Lord just said, I want you to do this full time. And I was like, okay, Lord, okay, well, if you say so. I'm like, and just ask for donations. And I don't monetize my videos or anything like that. I don't believe in that. I'm trusting the Lord 100% for donations for what I do, because he wanted me to do that. And I stepped out and believed him, like I do a lot of things he tells me to do. And I've gotten mocked and every kind of thing. And people saying, you make all this money, and I don't make anything. I mean, we barely survive. People don't know what they say. They don't know what they say. We just survive. You don't know. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. We just survive. And some days are harder than others. Some months are harder than others. His last 6, 7, 8 months have been very hard. And in fact, I told the Lord, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. My wife has stopped me from deleting my channel a few times. I was almost going to do it a few times, and then this last time, a few days ago, I was going to do it. I was pretty much saying I was going to do it. I said, you're going to have to just do something supernatural, because I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. I can't keep telling my family no and stuff. I can't keep surviving. I can't keep begging for money all the time. I can't keep people mocking me 24/7. And I get over all that stuff, but it still hurts at times when people say some of the worst things. It's like going to work. If people say, "Oh, it's no big deal. Get over it, brother," and all this stuff. Just imagine, go to work and have most of the people, at least more than half the people, spit on you, flip you off, call you all kinds of names every day, and see how long you last. And then I'll come over to you and go, "Oh, it's okay, brother. It's okay, sister. Just hang in there." You wouldn't do it. Most of you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't go to work and have people spit on you, swear at you, give you the finger. And that's what I deal with every single day. Every single day. I've had death threats. I still have them sometimes. Yeah. For just warning people. And they can't, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, whatever. I just want to thank everybody who's ever given, and we need your help. I mean, I'm right now, we're on the edge. We had to go to the food bank today. My wife did. And we've done that at different times. I mean, we're not, too proud to do that. We do that. We've done that. I mean, that's, we do what we have to do. I mean, we're pretty much almost out of money for any kind of food. And then we have no rent, none of our rent. And it's only been the last 6, 7 months 6, 7, 8 months, that's been a real struggle. I mean, and people have been given like they used to and all that for, economy, all that kind of stuff. Or maybe people are just tired of hearing this stuff, or maybe they're tired of hearing me. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I get it. Whatever. Or but people are enough people are watching me, so to some degree. I mean, not as many that should or could because of YouTube and all kinds of stuff. But and I understand all that, and I'm not blaming anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying I need help, and if you're able to give, man, my rent's right about $2,000, and it's gone up $600 in the last couple of years, like a lot of people's has, and all that stuff. It's gotten crazy. It's not coming down, and it probably won't ever come down. It's funny how that stuff goes. It jacks up and it never comes down. Um, but we've been on time, even though God's come through miraculously so many times. This is the worst we've been. I literally have to pay my rent in 2 days, a day and a half now, pretty much, and I usually pay by tomorrow. I paid a day early because I'm just like that. I don't like to wait to the very end and all that, and all that. But I might have to, and then I just need your help. I have, if you're able to help, please. I mean, we are, and so I was at the edge. I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. We have a week until we have to pay rent, and we have none of it, and we're just struggling on food and everything. And this my last video got no donations, and then yesterday I got one, and I was just like, that's it. And I was almost gonna I was gonna delete everything, and then the Lord just, bam, He hit me. He hit me with this just incredible like love, and he just started downloading stuff to me. He just said, "Look at this! Look 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 at this! Remember this! Remember this! Look at this! Remember this! Look at this! Look at this now! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Remember." I don't know if you ever experienced it, but if you ever have received the download from the Lord Jesus, it's incredible. It's incredible. I used to do that sometimes when I was riding my motorcycle, which I don't have now. It's messed up, and I can't even afford to fix it. I used to love going on my motorcycle in the mountains and praising God, and it was a great way to do that, and I can't do that anymore because I don't have the money to fix it. But anyway, um, sorry. He's just so good, but then it's so hard, and he's making. I'm going through some of this stuff for reasons, and it's stretching me, and also I've been praising God for the last couple of months like I never have, and then it's been getting worse. It's like if anybody, if you know the dichotomy there, it's just crazy. Anyway, sorry. How do I apologizing? I just apologize for snorting and stuff because I'm crying. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm just real. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Sorry. That's just, I'm real. And if you don't like, you don't understand why somebody who's going through horrible stuff would cry and who's supposed to provide for their family and trust God all the way to people mocking him all the time, then go somewhere else. And if you have any negative thing to say, you're gone in 2 seconds. Don't even bother. I don't want to see it, hear it. I'm not in the mood for it right now. And so he gave me all this crazy, amazing stuff. And he said, hang in there. It's a couple months away, but you're gonna make it. And and I felt like he was gonna do something great and just change things, like not like it's been or something. And so then I'm still here. By the grace of God, I'm still here. So anyway, didn't plan this, but so yeah, people can mock all they want and all that stuff. I don't care. I got what I have with the Lord, and that can't be taken away from me. The crowns that I won't be taken away, and so I went through hell to get them, but that's fine. And because I want to be close to Him forever. I don't care. That's what I want. I don't care about anything else. And I want my family to be taken care of, and I want to, for eternity and all that. And that's what I care about. And I want a lot of you to get free. That's and know Jesus, because He's the only one that really saves, man. He's the only one. He's the only chance we got. That's it. He's the only chance we got. So anyway, if you're able to help at all, the Zell's in the description box. You can sign up at ZellPay.com. It's a lot of different banks have it through their app, Zelle, and it's a free money transfer, whatever. There's also PayPal. I have a PayPal link. Sorry, excuse me. I have a PayPal link in the description box below as well. That's below the title of this video, and so is the Zelle and everything description of that. But the PayPal link, it can be for Venmo and PayPal or other ways you could pay. Just click on the link and you can pay in different ways. Um, anyway, they for a little while they kind of messed me over. They made it where you had to be a member, and they didn't tell me that through the link I had. I was like, what the heck? And then now they all got it squared away and everything, and you don't have to be a member, and you can sign up in different ways, even Venmo and stuff. You can, if you have Venmo, you don't have PayPal, things like that. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and hope you got something out of this. And I'm planning on doing more videos, but I need to have my stuff paid, my rent paid, man. I can't. I just feel like the Lord's going to do something. I can't wait to give a praise report on all this because He's amazing and He's turned. He's done miracles in my life in so many different ways, and I'm just looking forward to this one. So thank you. Please give if you're able to. We really, really need it. Don't hold back if you're waiting for someone else to give, and if he'll give to you. In so many ways. I just whatever, and I don't want anybody to do what they're not supposed to do. So if you don't feel it like you should, then don't. But please, if you're able to give, we need it. Thank you. I'm not going to beg anymore. I hate asking. Oh gosh, Lord help me. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, and then now I'm going to show you the video of this that I have of this spiral turning into a wormhole. If you've never seen it, it's amazing, and it's way before AI or anything like that, and it was real. And I've had different videos of it, but this one I kept. I've seen different videos from different angles. Thousands of people saw this. It was on news over there and all over the world. This is a real thing. This was not a hoax. And this happened to happen the same night CERN did their biggest collision ever. And they were opening a portal. They were doing this because Obama was there. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1. I'm going to show you this in a second. But right now, I'm over and out. Here we go. The video.